What's up, everybody? This is Johnny Basement, and we are back here in the basement. We are back. It has been a minute. It's been a long time. We're back here in the basement. The New York Yankees and the Chicago White Sox, which is already underway. It's already underway right now. So we are back on and going, man. It's 1-0 White Sox at the moment, and it's all good right now. The Yankees should start coming back. Volpe's up right now. It's 0-1, 3-2 count. 3-2 count. Flex, what is going on? Regular cellar dweller accounted for. Flex, what's happening, man? Long time, brother. What is going on, man? 1 second. I'm still getting set up. Man. 1 second, brother. How you been, man? How you been? Yeah. I'll explain in a minute, man. We've been working. Stolen. 14 for 14. Volpe just stole second base. The dude is on fire. 14 for 14 right now for that kid. Incredible. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. It's been a minute. You guys know we're in the basement. That's what's going on. Give me a minute. All right, we're on here now. Swing slow. Another cellar dweller accounted for. What's going on? Flex, very long time. Had a lot. Yeah, I know, man. We're back up and running, man. Gunner, OG cellar dweller accounted for. Gunner's in the basement. Great to see you guys, too. We were working on a green screen, man. We got a green screen. And Gunner, you met Kenny. He's here with me. He'll be down here to say what's up in a minute. We were working on the green screen, and while we were doing it, we were supposed to be on unlisted, not public. So when everybody popped in, I wasn't expecting to be on a few minutes ago. That's what just happened. That's hilarious. And why did that happen? Because we're in the basement. That's why that happened. So I wasn't planning on coming on right away, but here I am. So we were messing around. We got the green screen. I told you changes are coming. And big changes are coming to me and with this whole channel. And so there's been a lot of time and a lot of things going on right now. But that's what happened a few minutes ago for all you guys that popped in and saw me on and then popped off. That's what happened. We were working on the green screen, and I didn't mean to go on public. I meant to go on private because, again, we're in the basement, and that's why it went on public. I didn't mean for that to happen. So anyway, guys, whatever the case, we're here, we're back, and that's what's up. Mick, another cellar dweller accounted for. Mick's in the basement. What's going on, Mick? What's happening, man? Another Ozzy in the basement. Flex, another Ozzy. I had to get my lingo down again. Medication. Gunner, you know who that is, man. He's laughing because he's part of that green screen. Kenny is in the basement, and he will be physically in the basement with me in here in a few minutes. Kenny will be down here with me in a few minutes. Rock, the greatest cellar dweller. My honey, Mrs. Basement. Rock is in the basement. What's up, Rock? Flex. Yeah, my ear's all sorted out. That's a whole nother talk show. That we're all good there. Flip, great to see you in here, Flip. Another cellar dweller, another Ozzy in the basement. What's going on, Flip? Swing, you've been seeing what Big Baller Bean has been working on in the 716? Some great free agency pickups. Yeah, man. Really good free agency pickups, man. Absolutely, Swing. Really good stuff, man. I'm enjoying it all the way, bro, man. All the way. Quick. Another cellar dweller accounted for. Quick. In the basement. Quick. Nice new pick on your screen there, too. I'm used to your old one, so I had to get adjusted to that for a minute. OG cellar dweller. Basement warrior. Mr. Marine. Back in the basement. What's up, Mr. Marine? Yes, back in the saddle again. Warriors of Fortune, Mr. Marine. Glad to see you. Hope you're doing well, too, Mr. Marine. I hope everything's going all right with you. How's your heart? You coming along? You must be coming along a lot better, man. Great to see you in here. Mick, great, man. Tipping comp is heating up. I know. Mick, that tipping comp, for those that want to know, it's 0-2 right now. Top of the fifth inning, nobody out. Clark Schmidt. It's 52 pitches in. It's 1-0 White Sox at the moment. I was rolling, Mick. I dropped the seventh in the tipping, and then I went all the way up the fourth, and then I got like 3 right a couple weeks ago. Like 3. That was the worst I ever did because the week before that, I think I got like 8 or 9 right. I think I got like one wrong the week before, and the next week I only got 3 right, that whole tipping thing. There was so many upsets. It was crazy. Crazy. Like when I pulled it up, it was just a bunch of red. Like I got all these wrong. Anyway, that's where we're at there, but it is heating up, man. We're all within a couple of wins and losses of each other, so that's cool. How you guys been? How you liking the new pitch clock? Gunnar, how you liking the pitch clock, man? I'm actually starting to like this right now. It took me a minute to a great play by Donaldson. Donaldson is terrible at the plate still, man, but I'll tell you what, he still can play the field, but $25 million a year for this guy? Can you imagine that? $25 million a year for an older player that doesn't have it anymore. $25 million. That used to be the top dog would get something like that. Now it's like unacceptable to top players to get paid $25 million a year. It's disgusting, right? Disgusting. Yeah, I saw that, Flex. I checked into the tipping. Most people did get a lot wrong last week. That was a rough week, man. I couldn't believe it. It looked like one of my old for the guys I remember, the Scantrons. Remember when you took a test and they put the Scantron in the machine? Mine sounded like a machine gun was going off from a test. That's what it looked like. It was like X, X, X. The more I was moving the app up, X, 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 X. I'm like, wow, what happened here? Got killed. Got absolutely killed on that, man. 1 second here, guys. I'm still setting up as we go. Like I said, man, I didn't even mean to pop in before. That was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. You guys can hear me okay? You should be able to hear me okay. Anyway, Gunnar, we were all worried about you, Johnny. We're all messaging you, trying to find out. I know, and I appreciate it. I got your emails. I emailed you back on a couple, Gunnar, and I appreciate it, man. I just needed that time. Needed that time for a lot of those reasons, man. Needed that time. So I'm happy to be back on. I missed you guys, man. I really did. The Lakers and Celtics being eliminated, Denver and Miami, Florida Panthers. What happened to them? Are their Cinderella shoes falling off? Because they're getting destroyed by the Vegas Knights the last couple of games. Wow. They're getting destroyed. I watched the game last night. Vegas couldn't stop scoring, man. 7-2. What a beatdown. That second period started. It was like goal after goal after goal. Bobrovsky got booted out of there. Vegas is looking strong right now. Vegas is looking real strong. And the Panthers, by the way, are not really an average 8-seeded team. I mean, they did finish the President's Trophy #1 overall in the NHL last year. So it's not like they were just some normal 8-seeded team. Them coming back, beating the Boston Bruins down 3-1. Bruin, are you in here yet? If you're not, I'm sorry about your Bruins, man. That had to have hurt. Up 3-1 with a dominant record-setting team and give all that up. Wow. That was incredible. That was incredible. I'll get back to that in a minute. Gunnar, I don't mind the pitch. I don't mind the pitch clock either. I got to tell you, man, I don't mind it. I was unsure about it at first because I'm an old school guy with all my sports, so I'm not big on change. But I got to admit, man, I don't mind it. I really don't. The game moves along. I don't think we're going to have any more 5-hour adventures in the basement like we had last summer. Remember that? My gosh. Like it's like what this game started an hour ago. We're already in the 5th inning. Now, I'm not one that likes to rush games, but I understand the casual fan doesn't want to sit there and watch a pitcher walk around the mound for 30 seconds to a minute and a batter take it forever adjusting his gloves. I get all that. The only thing that I find funny with baseball when they say, now we can steal bases again. Now we can get offense going again. Now it's baseball like it's never been. Man, they were doing that before the pitch clock. It's just that baseball got away from teaching people how to drop bunts, how to play small ball. A lot of teams, not just the Yankees, are home run or nothing. Home run or nothing. That's what the league became, home run or nothing. That's why we fell in this problem. You wouldn't have had that shift on in the 70s, 80s, 90s, even early 2000s. You wouldn't have seen that shift because everybody knew how to play small ball. People knew how to drop bunts. The dynasty of the Yankees back in the 90s wasn't built on home runs. It was built on small ball, getting on base, working counts, stealing bases. That's what baseball was then. So when this pitch clock comes out and the analysts are all talking about how we finally getting back to the way baseball should be. Come on, Clark Schmidt just gave up a 2-run bomb. 3-0 White Sox. He clobbered that one. Yankees had a rough start to the year, but I'm just going back to what I was saying. That pitch clock is forcing baseball to go back to the way it was already. We've always had the stolen bases. Baseball got away from that, and that's their own fault. Home run or nothing, that's why the Yankees haven't even been in a World Series, because they've had too many home run or nothing teams, which is fine during the regular season, but when you get in the playoffs, if those home runs ain't coming, no one can lay down bunts. Brett Gardner had to stick around for how many years extra because he was the only guy that could play small ball. So this pitch clock has forced regular baseball to come back. But to say that we're finally seeing action we've never seen before, which is these analysts are trying to sell that, that's ridiculous. We've seen it plenty of times without the pitch clock. At least I have, and I'm 50. I've seen it plenty of times in my life, and I've seen baseball go away from it. That shift proved it. So whatever the case, the Yankees, again, rely on the home run or nothing. We still have that mentality with this team, and that's been the problem. That's why we haven't even been in the World Series since 2009. So I'll get off my soapbox now from that. Flex, next time you go MIA after a medical problem, please check in or post somewhere saying you're all right. I did. I did put a community post out, man. I put one out. To be fair, I did wait a long time before I put it out, Flex, so I'll take that back. I did post one, I think it was last week, which is probably about 3 weeks. Yeah, okay, you know what, to be fair, I waited too long to do that, man, and that's kind of how I am. When I have things going on, I can go in a hole and I get real private on stuff, and I'm not used to this kind of platform. How about that? I'm not used to this kind of platform to where I should have paid more attention and at least updated you guys. I didn't mean to go dark. It wasn't on purpose. That's the type of person I am. When I have things going on, I should have gave you guys more respect and saying like, hey, this is what's going on. I'm good. So I apologize for that. I should have been more I shouldn't have waited 3 weeks or a month in between my post of the ear problem to a week ago. So I didn't really think about it in that way. You guys know I tell you guys the truth on everything. So I'm not going to sit and tell you a story. I just really didn't think about it. It's no offense to anybody. That's how the type of person I am. And I'm not used to having a platform to where I do owe it to you guys to give you a little bit more information than I had. So apologies to you guys on that. Mr. Marine had a heart murmur, was in the hospital a month, home last 2 weeks, but it's going slowly as can be, but at least here to fight on. Life Rangers tank JB. At least Knicks did good. The Knicks did do good. The Rangers, man, I'm very disappointed. I don't know if I totally agree with believe it or not, I don't totally agree with firing Gerard Gallant. I think he got put under the gun a lot. I know he could have changed the lines, just kept some lines together. But you had two of the greatest Rangers seasons in 2 years that you haven't seen almost ever. Now you're going to fire him and bring in another retread. You're going to bring in Peter Laviolette. That's who looks like we're going to get. Peter Laviolette has a good history, but he hasn't won a cup since 2006, right, with the Carolina Hurricanes. He's been in the cup with the Nashville Predators. I mean, he is a good I guess he needs the kick in the ass the Rangers need. I guess that's what we can call it, the kick in the ass the Rangers need. But to me, I don't agree with firing coaches every couple of years. How do you get anything started? I'm not a huge Gerard Gallant fan, but at this point now, if you're going to choose between Laviolette or John Hines, you take Laviolette then. He's the more experienced coach. He knows how to work these teams. The Rangers are ready to win right now. You got a 2 to 3 year window, I think, with the core players that you have before you totally turn it over to the youth. And you need an experienced coach that can do that. John Hines, he hasn't done much of anything. He doesn't have a great playoff record. He's hardly even been in them. I think he's 1-4 in the playoffs. What has he done? Why is he getting fired? Such a big deal. That's probably the new the media hype on him. There is no hype on him. If it's Laviolette or John Hines, you take Laviolette. You don't even think twice about it. I understood if they were waiting around for Patrick Waugh to see what would happen after they were done in the juniors leagues. And then all along, they're not even interested in him. So now we're back to Laviolette and John Hines. To me, you take Laviolette. I don't know what they're waiting for. I don't know if someone else is coming available that we don't know about. But with the squad that the Rangers have now, Mr. Marine, you don't go with a young hasn't done anything yet coach or an inexperienced coach. Not that they can't become something great. Look at Mike Sullivan. Mike Sullivan was a bench coach for the Rangers under Tortorella, right? Then he goes and wins a couple of cups with the Penguins. So you don't know. There can be a diamond in the rough with some of these younger coaches that haven't had a shot yet. I don't think you go that route right now with the Rangers. I just don't think you go that route. I think you go with the experienced guy, Laviolette, and I don't fully agree with Gallant getting fired after 2 seasons. I just don't. But whatever the case, what is, it is. It's done, and we got to move forward and see what happens from there. So anyway, Mr. Marine, I'm glad to hear you back home. Keep plugging along. I'm going to be back on here more times than not. IKF is up right now, 3-0. It's 1-2 count on him. And he just struck out. Bottom of the 5th inning, 1 out. Quick, the pitch clock is okay with me. Yeah, it's okay with me too, dude. I'm actually gotten used to it. Like I said, I can't judge it yet. Let's see how it all works in the playoffs. But so far, under normal conditions, the game is an hour and 10 minutes old, right? The game's an hour and 10 minutes old. Normally, without the pitch clock, we'd probably be in the 3rd inning right now after an hour and 10 minutes. But again, to me, I'm an old school guy. I didn't care about the games being that long. Yes, some nights when you guys and I were on here last year for 5 hours, 4 hours, that was a little bit long. But overall, I don't like the ghost runner on second base. I still hate that. I hate the automatic runner on second base. When we get to extra innings, no one should be allowed on base. You have to earn that. You have to earn getting on base. I hate that automatic runner. I always will. I can't stand it. And that's to appease to the casual fan. Well, we got to speed the game up for them. Why? Why? If you have the pitch clock and the game's moving along already, why have the extra runner on second base? I don't like that. I'll never will. I'll never be sold on it. Forget it. Mick, tipping comp is great. Flex by 1 over me the week of the pick 5. I think you guys are only about 3 over me. I didn't look at the tipping comp today, but I think you guys are only about 3 or 4 points over me. Because I think I'm in 4th right now. Everybody had, like Flex said, everybody had a bad week. Everybody. Featherstone, what's happening? Featherstone, what's going on? Welcome in. Another Aussie accounted for in the basement. What's happening? I'm all right. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. Long story, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And thank you for all you guys' support. I really, really appreciate it. And again, to Flex, I will update you guys more frequently if something like that was to happen again. That's my bad. That's on me. I should have been more attentive to you guys that support my channel. I just not used to having a platform like that and going through something like I just went through. So I again should have been more keen to updating you guys. Mr. Marine, Featherstone, yes, what's going on? Rob, dang, another cellar dweller accounted for. Rob's in the base. What's going on, Rob? Thank you. It's great to be back, Rob. Great to be back. Gonna bet you enjoyed watching my Blue Jays sweeping the Mets. Well, no. The Mets are my second favorite team. I didn't enjoy that, and the Blue Jays are, come on, man, we're in the same division, so I'm assuming you're being sarcastic on that, brother. You know the Mets are my second favorite team. But they did, what a sweep. The Mets just totally, they looked like crap that whole series, man. The Blue Jays, they need to get something going because they were hanging around last place. What is going on with Toronto? Why is it every year, Gunner, Toronto always looks like they have a team that can take the division, fight for the division, and they're always middle of the pack. Like that old Primus song, Jerry was a race car driver. That's the Blue Jays. Never did come in first, but never did finish last. That's a great line. Never did win no checkered flag, but never did come in last. That's the Blue Jays recently, right? They're middle of the pack every time. I don't get it. They got a great batting order. They got a decent pitching staff, although Manoah's having a rough season this year. Alek Manoah's having a rough year. What's going on with him, man? The guy was a superstar last year. So, yeah, sweeping the Mets, man. I didn't see that coming, but I figured that would be in a better series than it was. Man, they destroyed the Mets. 4 straight games. Wow. Flex, don't need to give any details or anything like that. I was just worried the community build cares about each other, which is a good thing. Absolutely, right. I wouldn't give real detail. I would never give like real detail, but at least saying, hey, guys, coming along. Hey, guys, be back soon. I did put that out last week, but again, I should have done it sooner than that. So Yeah, I won't give out total details, but I will tell you that the support you guys give me, I will be more keen on that next time. Mr. Marine, Featherstone, good to see everyone still here. June 6, 2023. That's right. Where's Truba? We need Truba. Truba contacted me as well through email, man, which was really cool. I responded to him as well. Yankees did nothing. Bottom of the 5th inning, we're losing 3-0. We did nothing. Nothing. We are being no-hit, by the way. I didn't want to bring that up just yet. But the White Sox, they're throwing a no-hitter right now. 5 innings, and the Yankees don't even have 1 hit. We don't even have a hit yet. We better not. My first day back, we better not get a no-hit. I better not have come back into a no-hit right now. Mick, hey, Flex, can you send me the Discord connection as I got a new phone and missing chatting with y'all? I'll be back in that too, guys. I'll be back in the Discord too. I know I've been off on that. I almost went back in last weekend, but we got family here, and I've been busy. So, and Kenny should be coming down here soon. He should be coming down here soon. So, yeah, Flex, the Discord connection. If you don't, I'll get it in here in a minute. Let me pull that up as well, Mick. I can get you that as well. Featherstone just about jumped off the couch when I saw it. Thank you. Yes, and I love it. It's funny. If you guys saw it, I just said it earlier when I first came on. But my son Kenny and I are on here working on – I got a green screen. We got things going on here. So if you popped in on that, I forgot to put it on unlisted so you guys wouldn't see me. We were working around with the new green screen that I'm going to be working with soon. And I didn't know I was live. So that was kind of funny. We saw a name start popping up, and I'm like, oh, no, we're live. I'm like, damn it, we're live. So I'd shut everything down. So if you caught that, that's because we're in the basement. That's why. What better way to come back than with basement technical difficulties, right? We wouldn't be the basement if that sort of stuff didn't happen. So here we are. Rob, AFL Brisbane doing well. Collingwood has it in the bag. Guys, you know. You know who my 2 teams are. You know who they are. Come on now. You know who my 2 teams are. You know. Come on, man. Mason Cox, Charlie Cameron. Come on. You guys know. Those are my 2 teams. Yep, I don't play around. Look at this, man. I'm all hooked up, man. Got Nick Dacos here and Charlie Cameron. Come on. Come on. Who's got it going on? They are doing well, man. That'd be crazy if they hooked up later on, though, Rob. They're absolutely crazy. Brisbane's my number 1. Collingwood's my number 2. I got 2 teams in every sport. I'm Yankees first, Mets second, Rangers first, Lightning second. I will never in life go for the New York Islanders. Tampa Bay Lightning is my second favorite team. Football, Jets first, Giants second. And baseball, Yankees and Mets is my second. So those are my teams. And basketball, Knicks are my first team. My second team, honestly, is any team LeBron James plays for. I always go for LeBron. So any team he's on is the team I'm going for. But I'm a Knicks fan overall. Raleigh, OG cellar dweller accounted for. Raleigh's in the basement. What's up, Raleigh? What's happening, man? Johnny, what's up, brother? Hope you're doing well. Miss being in the basement. Me too, my man. Me too. I'm back now, man. I'll be back I'll be doing most Yankee games. You know, I can't get to them all. Like Thursday, I won't be on. I should be on tomorrow night. But Thursday, I won't be on. But I'm back, guys. Raleigh, great seeing you back in here. Another basement warrior, another former Marine. Raleigh's in the basement. What's up, man? Mr. Marine's in here as well, Raleigh. Your Marine Corps brother. Swing. I'm supposed to be working. I better at least pretend I care. Don't forget the offer to shout you out a game at the GABA when you can make it here. Man, I'm looking forward to that. I really wanted to do that this year. Rock and I really wanted to come this year, but we're probably going to end up having to do it next year, man. But Australia is still coming to the GABA, coming to watch a Magpie game, coming to watch the Lions game is on the map. I want to see both. That's going to be so much fun. So much fun. I'm enjoying it. Bond, another cellar dweller accounted for, another Ozzy in the basement. Bond, oh my gosh, Schmidt almost gave up another home run. We got a man on first base, almost another 2-run bomb. Schmidt looks terrible. Terrible. Hey, Gunner, I'm looking here now. Alek Manoah has just been sent down to the Florida League. He's 1-7 with a 6.36 ERA. That is hard. What happened to him? Alek Manoah was like a top pitcher last year. What happened? He's sent down to the Florida League. 1-7, 6.36, man. That is bad. I'm not even ripping on your team. I'm just saying, what happened to this guy? So, yeah, Bond, great seeing you in here, man. That's where I left off. Yes, great seeing you in here, Bond. Great seeing you in here, and thank you for your support, brother. Featherstone, Johnny, I know you don't check your social media much, but I started getting worried, tweeted to see if you were okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. I told you guys I'm terrible with my social media. You guys can see and look at it. I haven't been on that in a long time. I'm not used to being on social media, so even my emails, I'm terrible at checking this stuff. I'll work on that. I really will. And I appreciate you checking in, Featherstone. You guys got my email. You guys got my stuff on there. I do respond. I usually don't respond right away, but my social media, I'm awful with that. Absolutely awful. Appreciate the support. Buffalo Times, another cellar dweller accounted for. Buffalo Times in the basement. How's the basement doing, brother? We're doing great. We're doing great, man. And Gunner and the Bills fans, we got it going on September 11th, 9/11, Monday Night Football, Jets, Buffalo Bills at the Aaron Rodgers-led Jets. That's going to be an amazing, amazing, amazing game. That's going to be a great start to the season. 2 heavyweights now in the AFC East and in the league overall going at it on Monday Night Football on September 11th. What a way to open up the Monday Night Football in the NFL season. That is going to be an incredible, incredible night, man. I can't wait for that, guys. Can't wait for that. So great seeing you in here, Buffalo Times. Gunner, that's going to be an amazing night too, Gunner. I know you're a big Bills fan and some other guys, so we'll see what's up with that. Bond, we're all worried about you, brother. I know, man. Thank you. Thanks for that support, man. I really, really appreciate it, man. I really do. Doing good. We're fine. We're doing great. I got Rock here. How can anything go wrong when I got Mrs. Basement here, the greatest wife on the planet? Trust and believe, man. We're all good. Mick, hope there's not a next time, but if so, Rock can pass on messages. Yep. Again, I promise you guys I'll be better with that. I really will. I really will, man. So definitely, Mick will. I think she did drop a message in there on when my ear thing first happened. I think she did drop a couple messages in there, man. But I again will be better at that, not wait weeks in between until I'm actually good to go to come back on. Flex, a lot of people asking where you've been too, Mick, so you've also been missed. Wow, Mick, you were missing also? Oh, you did just say you had a different phone, man. So, yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you. By the way, let me look up that Discord thing for you right now. I think I'm still can get on. I haven't been on that in a minute either. I'm getting all this stuff back on, guys. 1 second here, guys. 1 second. The Yankees have not had a hit yet. The White Sox have a no-hitter going on right now. We are in the bottom of the 6th inning, and we do not have a hit. That is pathetic. Gleyber Torres on. We got the top of the lineup coming up right now. So we got Torres, Giancarlo Stanton, and Anthony Rizzo. These guys better get a hit. Somebody better get a hit. 1 second. Here you go, Mick. Mick, here you go. There's the Discord right here. There you go, Mick, right there. Where did I leave off? Flex read that. Mr. Blum, welcome into the live stream, Mr. Blum. Yes, I am alive and well, brother. I'm alive and well. Thank you for your support. For people that don't know who Mr. Blum is, he supports a lot of the uploaded videos I do for the AFL. He's a Brisbane Lions fan, and he has been extremely helpful to me in the comments under the Lions. So thank you, Mr. Blum, for all the things that you have helped me out with on the Lions and coming along with the Brisbane season all along. So thank you for your support as well, man. I appreciate it. Bon, I pay you to burn that black and white one. I knew it, Bon. I brought that one out just for you. Brought it out just for you. Mason Coxey, I already told you guys, has got to support the American. And Charlie Cameron, come on, look at this. Bon, did you miss it? Look at this, man. Look what I've been getting in since I've been out. Mr. Dacos, Rising Star 2022. Charlie Cameron, come on now. Come on, man. Got all the bobbleheads. Mike Richter, legendary goalie for the New York Rangers when we won the Cup. Come on now. Got tons of that stuff, man. I love it. Stanton's up right now. Gleyber Torres got out. So this guy right now, he's 11 outs away from throwing a Mr. Giolito is 11 outs away from throwing a no-hitter. Can you believe this? This better not happen my first day back. Mick, Mason Cox was great on the front bar last week. I'm going to check that out because I do have that Watch AFL app, man. I'm catching up on some stuff. I did come on. Don't swing at that. He's already down to 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Stanton. Gunner, the Blue Jays are the Vikings. Yeah. Oh, great analogy, Gunner. Great analogy. They are the Vikings. They're the Vikings of the Major League Baseball. Great analogy, man. They always seem to finally be getting somewhere, then choke their season away. What is that? That's a great analogy. They are the Vikings. The Vikings are never top, and they're never the worst. They are, like I said, they never did get no checkered flag, but they never did finish in last. Jerry was a race car driver. Primus, man, great song. A lot of truth in that statement because that's the Vikings and that's the Blue Jays. It's so bizarre how the Blue Jays are always a team you don't want to play, but man, they take themselves out of the way. They take themselves out of the way. Very true. Blum, yes. Are you planning to do an AFL catch-up vid? I sure am. I'm going to be uploading videos this week as well. So watch out for those too. I'm back on playing catch-up now. Mick Manoah is going down because his cutter is getting hit. Dude, he's got a 6.36 ERA, Mick. That is insane. People adjust. Pitchers adjust to batters that come out. People adjusted to Manoah's cutter. Getting smacked around, apparently, man. He has looked terrible. All right, well, he's got 2 outs now. Anthony Rizzo's up. This is another great hitter in the game, Anthony Rizzo. He's got a .292 average with 11 bombs this year and 32 RBIs. Rizzo, someone's got to get a hit. We cannot get no hit today. Please don't let that happen. Manoah's been absolutely horrendous. Now, can you imagine if he was really pitching on point? The Blue Jays would probably be playing a lot better. James, another cellar dweller accounted for. James in the base. What's happening, James? How you doing, man? Come on, New York, win this game. Not only win this game, let us get a hit. Rizzo just had a huge hit foul. Let's get a hit and then start winning this game. We don't start trusting your stuff, but as a pitcher, you don't trust your stuff. It's going to start getting smacked around. Can't let that happen. That's my birthday. What's your birthday, James? I missed something. Bon, I'm 10 behind in the leader in the tipping. Are you really 10 behind? Oh, my gosh. Bon, what's going on with that? You 10 behind? See if I can get that up here, too. I usually have all this stuff set up, but I'm out of my routine. I usually have all this set up before I even come on. Are you really 10 behind? I'm looking at it right now. Wow, Bon, you are 10 behind. Oh, my gosh. Not that you would make that up. Why would you make that up? Wow. Would you take chances on some teams? That 1 week, everybody did poorly. A couple weeks ago, everybody lost. It was really a weird week, but that happens. That happens in the NFL, too. You have the week where, like, the worst teams in the league are beating the best teams. Like, who knows why that happens? Mick, thanks. Oh, you're welcome, man. It's downloading now. Good. Use to live in Brisbane in the early 70s. Did you really? Wow, man. You were never a Lions fan, though, huh? You lived there? Oh, well, that would have been the Brisbane Bears back then. That would have been the Brisbane Bears. Manav, OG cellar dweller accounted for. Manav's in the basement. What's up, Manav? How was your trip? How was your trip, man? You went to India for a month, right? You went home? How was your trip, man? That must have been exciting, man, for you and your family. Did you have a good time? I bet you did. Wow, you were gone all of May, were you not? Man, Manav, I wasn't here either. Bond, good day, Manav. Yep, Manav, hey, Bond. Gunner, the Vikings and their history of kickers missing in the playoffs. Oh, Gary Anderson and Blair Walsh both missed easy field goals. The interesting one about Gary Anderson, you know what made that interesting? That was the 15-1 season in 1998. Randall Cunningham was the quarterback. Gary Anderson against the Falcons in that in the NFC Championship game had not missed a field goal the entire season. Gary Anderson did not miss a field goal that entire season. And he missed that game, and they lost, man. And they lost. And the Falcons went on and beat the Broncos. Got destroyed by the Broncos, who ended up winning back-to-back championships. The Jets were the other team that the Jets, had they beaten the Broncos, they would have wrecked the Falcons in that too. I think the quarterback was Chris Chandler, and you had Jamal Anderson, the Dirty Birds. Dan Reeves was the head coach, who never won Super Bowls, lost a bunch of them with the Broncos and John Elway. That, of course, was before Elway got Terrell Davis. Elway's 2-3 in the Super Bowls, but he took above average Bronco teams and faced buzzsaws. Lawrence Taylor and the Giants, you weren't going to beat them. Then they played Doug Williams and the Redskins, got absolutely embarrassed, especially in that second quarter. That second quarter against Doug Williams and the Redskins was bad. The game was over by halftime. And then they got absolutely embarrassed by Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, John Taylor, Roger Craig, and the 49ers. They lost 55-10. 55-10. Then John Elway gets Terrell Davis, leaves that Super Bowl, which I believe was in 1989. He didn't see the Super Bowl again until 1998 season, 98-99. Beat the Packers, Brett Favre and the Packers that snapped that 17-year streak. 17 Super Bowls in a row the AFC lost before they finally won one. That was John Elway beating Brett Favre and the Packers after they were trying to get a back-to-back, because the Packers, the previous season, had beaten the Patriots, which was led by Drew Bledsoe. And Bill Parcells was the coach of the Patriots then, not Bill Belichick. So that was an interesting time as well. All those years before John Elway and the Broncos won the Super Bowl in 98-99 season, the last AFC team to win the Super Bowl was way back when Jim Plunkett and Marcus Allen and company beat the Washington Redskins, and I believe that was 82-83 season. Wow. That is a long stretch of losses, because right after that, Dan Marino lost to Joe Montana, and they all thought, Dan Marino, hey, it's your second season. You'll be back in the Super Bowl again. Never made one again. Anyway, I went way off from the Gary Anderson comment there, Gunner. But, hey, we're all caught up on a lot of stuff. See what happens when we start talking football? I'll go right down the road of all these things. Bond, NHL is coming to Australia in the offseason. Yes, I think the Arizona Coyotes, and who else is playing over there, Bond? Someone else is going over there. Arizona Coyotes, and who are they playing? You got to go to, if you've never been to a hockey game, which I imagine you haven't, you got to go to one, man. Who cares who's playing? You got to go see one, man. Seeing those games live, it's amazing. It's amazing. I don't know. Maybe you have been to one. I don't know. I'm just saying, if you haven't, that's definitely something to go at. I would imagine that's going to be a packed out game. Gunner, Anderson hadn't missed in 2 seasons. Yeah, and that is insane. And he missed in the most important one, man. Incredible. Absolutely incredible, man. 15-1, Randall Cunningham at the helm, man. Wow. That Vikings team, how do you lose with that team? Randy Moss was in a prime. Oh, my gosh, man. Wow. Bond, you had some really bad rounds in the tipping, so one round I let my daughter do tipping. That one, you tried to turn it over to your daughter, and that didn't turn out too good? My gosh, man. Wow. Mick, the Lions were still Fitzroy back in the 70s. Right. They combined with the Brisbane Bears. 1990? Was it 1990 they combined? Or 96? 96? I'm getting better on my AFL history, but you guys know I'm still new to it. No, it became the VFL turned to the AFL in 1990. The Lions and the Bears converged in 96. Am I right? The AFL left it became the AFL in 1990, and then the Bears and the Lions 96. I'm going to guess 96. VFL. Yep. Okay. Flex back soon. Need to find something to eat, but can barely walk still, so might take a minute. Barely walk? What happened to you? What happened to you, Flex? You can barely walk. What happened? I definitely missed something. I've been gone a while. Bagger, another Australian accounted for. Another cellar dweller accounted for. What's going on, Bagger? Dwellers, are you fitting well, Johnny? Everybody's missed you. How is everyone? We're doing great, man. Doing great. Doing great, brother. The Yankees are not welcoming me back very well, man, because they're getting no hit right now. They have no hits, and we're going into the 7th inning. 9 outs away from getting no hit, man. Gosh, we're down 3-0, and they got a no-hitter going on in Yankee Stadium. Don't let it happen. So great seeing you in here too, Bagger. Great seeing you in here too, man. Bond, David, good day, mate. Bombers versus Carlton. Yeah, what's up with Carlton this year too, man? They've let me down in a couple of picks, Carlton. They've let me down. They're 14th on the ladder. They've let me down in a couple of picks, man. They sure have. They've let me down. The Crows have been hanging around this year. The Crows have been hanging around. Absolutely hanging around. The Crows have helped me out on a couple of picks. I took them a couple times, man. But I've had some letdowns. The Blues have let me down in a couple of times this year, more than a couple of times. And so have the Swans, for that matter. All right, the Yankees got 3 outs now. I mean, they're coming up the bat now. 9 outs away from getting no hit. They cannot let this happen. What a welcome back, Johnny. Hey, the Yankees are getting no hit right now. Bag of tipping the Dons, Bond, Blues are in all sorts. I know. I'm going to go with the Bombers in that one also, man. I don't understand. I thought the Blues were going to be way better than what they're showing. I mean, from what I've learned, I mean, it's my first season. What do I know? But I'm just saying. And the Hawks, who did they just blow out? The Hawks beat down somebody, and I hardly ever take the Hawks. I took the Hawks one time over the Eagles. And I figured they would win that one, and they did. But then the Hawks just beat up on. They beat up on somebody. Yeah, the Eagles are the worst. The Hawks are 3-9, but they just beat down somebody unexpected. I guess every team that they beat would be unexpected, right? Huh. Anyway, we'll get back off that for a minute. Johnny, you got me addicted to ice hockey. I've been watching all the playoffs and final games. There you go, Bond. There you go. How about those Florida Panthers? They were dominating. They had won like 11 out of going into the Stanley Cup, Bond. The Panthers had won 11 of their last 12 playoff games. To that point, they have been getting their rear ends handed to them by Vegas. Vegas just came around 6 years ago in the league. This is the second time they made they're the first team in basketball, baseball, football, hockey. They're the first expansion team to make the Stanley Cup final in their first season. Who was the coach of that team? Gerard Gallant, who just got fired by the Rangers. Now, this is their second time in 6 years being there, and they want it. Vegas wants it, and they are dominating Florida. Florida was the President's Trophy winner last year, meaning they were the number 1 team overall in hockey, Bond. They were down 3-1 to the Boston Bruins, who set the record, the wins record this year. The NHL regular season record for wins was the Boston Bruins, up 3-1. You saw this, and Florida came back and beat them all. The next 3 games, they beat them and moved on. Now, people say that's the biggest upset in hockey history. It's, to me, point-wise, yes. The Bruins were 47 points better than the Florida Panthers. So technically, that's the biggest upset an 8 seed ever had over a 1 seed, especially when you're the NHL record setter. To me, it's not the biggest up. And I hate the fact that I'm defending a Boston team because I don't do that. But in this scenario, Boston, technically, it's the worst loss in the history of hockey. 2019, when the Tampa Bay Lightning had tied the Red Wings for the record of 62 wins. They tied the 95-96 Detroit Red Wings for the win total for record, 62 wins. The 8th-seeded Columbus Blue Jackets walked in. They weren't as far behind in points, and they swept the Lightning, the number 1 record-setting team. They swept them. They didn't just beat them. They swept them 4-0. The Columbus Blue Jackets have always been a horrendous embarrassment to the NHL. They are a joke of a team. They always have been and always, you assume they always will be. They are horrendous. For them to barely make the playoffs in 2019 and beat and sweep the number 1 Tampa Bay Lightning, the juggernaut, they had the league wrapped up early in the season. They were the number 1 team by far. And again, they tied the record for wins at that time, 62. The Florida Panthers coming back against the Bruins. The Florida Panthers were the number 1 team in hockey just a year ago. Just a year ago. They had a slow start to this season, injuries, what have you, and that's why they fell behind during the regular season. They weren't some scrubby 8th-seeded team like the Blue Jackets beating the Lightning were. To me, the Lightning losing and getting swept by that Blue Jackets team was an absolute embarrassment. And for those that you guys want to know, Sergei Bobrovsky, the goalie right now for the Panthers in the finals, was also the goalie for the Columbus Blue Jackets at that time. So he's been a part of beating 2 record-setting teams, the Tampa Bay Lightning and now the Boston Bruins. Bobrovsky was the goalie in both of those scenarios. So now you caught up. Here we are, the Yankees, bottom of the 7th inning, 9 outs away from not getting a hit. Come on, Donaldson, get that in there. They better get a hit. I don't even care about winning the game right now. Just get a hit first. Where the heck am I? Johnny, you got me addicted. I left off there, Bond. Dave, Bombers struggled against the Kangaroos. Yeah, how about the Kangaroos? Remember they were 2-0 to start the season? Everybody was on fire with them. Donaldson struck out. All right, they brought in a relief pitcher. Joe Kelly. They actually took their starting pitcher out. I wonder why. I have to catch up on that one. Why would you take a guy out that's been no-hitting unless he got injured and I didn't see it? Giolito was no-hitting the Yankees and they just took him out. Why? Does anybody know why? Gunner? Somebody? Speaking of Gunner, Johnny, what do you think of the NFL would have looked like if your Jets didn't injure Bledsoe? Come on, you got to bring that up. Mo Lewis. Great Jets linebacker, Mo Lewis. Drew Bledsoe running to the sideline decides to take on Mo Lewis instead, not step out of bounds, and he injured him. He jacked him up. Tom Brady comes in. You guys know the rest. And by the way, for you guys that don't know, in that AFC Championship game, Brady against the Steelers, Brady didn't start that in his first season. Bledsoe came back and started that game. And then Brady was given the reins back against the Rams in the Super Bowl. Drew Bledsoe came back and beat the Steelers team in that AFC Championship game. Whew. Incredible. And you know what's funny, Gunner? The Jets were the dominant team. When Belichick took over, it's true, you can look it up. When Belichick took over the Patriots, he said one of the biggest hurdles they had to get over was the New York Jets. Remember, they had Testaverde, Curtis Martin, Keyshawn Johnson, Wayne Corbett, Mo Lewis. They had players. They had players on that team. Anyway, and then they became the Jets again. Mick, my Tigers lost Hardwick. Oh, the Richmond Tigers, they did, huh? It took me a minute for that to register, Mick. Sorry. I'm just getting back in the game here, man. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. And you guys right now, where is Richmond? They're down the ladder a bit. Yeah, the 13th on the ladder, 4-7. Boy, oh boy. Volpe's up now. We have one out, bottom of the 7th inning. Now they got the bullpen, and the Yankees should be able to get a hit. Now let's try to get a hit and win this game. We're only down 3-0. We got 8 outs to go. Bond, the Arizona Coyotes are playing the Buffalo Sabres? You got to go to that, Bond. You have to go to that, man. You have to go to that. Yeah, the Hawks smashed the Eagles by 120 points. Yes, that's the game I took the Hawks on. But recently, and I can't think of it now, I think it was just a couple weeks ago when everybody lost. Who did the Hawks beat that they shouldn't have beaten, which is probably everybody besides the Eagles and maybe the Kangaroos? Who did they just beat? I'm trying to – they just beat somebody in round, I think it was 11. Might have been 11. They shouldn't have beaten. I think everybody took them too, man. I think everybody took them. Gunnar, the NHL playoffs have been crazy, man. It's been ridiculous. How about the Dallas Stars losing? Vegas when they were up 3-0 and Dallas made it 3-2. Vegas was like, all right, enough of this charade. And in that game 6, they beat them 6-0. Like, you're just getting rid of you guys right now. There's going to be no game 7. There's going to be no comeback. We're just going to shut this down now. Vegas smacked them around 6-0 and then went on to the Stanley Cup final. Bruin OG cellar dweller accounted for. Bruin's in the basement. What's going on, Bruin? Bruin, what is going on, Bruin? I don't think I've seen you since your Bruins lost, not to bring that up right off the bat. But, man, Bruin, crazy times, man. Crazy times, Bruin. Good to see you in here, brother. Good to see you in here, man. Baseball, well, we're back. And the Yankees are getting no hit right now, Bruin. No hit. What a welcome back, Johnny. Hey, here's your Yankees, and they're getting no hit right now. Now the White Sox brought the bullpen in. We should get some hits. IKF is coming up right now. Cullen, another cellar dweller, another Ozzy accounted for. What's going on? Cullen, thanks for the support. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. I got to get back in my routine. I'm way out of my routine this time. Hit the like button, all that stuff. Drop some comments. You guys know. Gunnar, Broom, what's up? Cullen, good seeing you back, Johnny. Thank you, man. Good seeing your name in here, too. Appreciate the support. We got just Truba and a few other guys. I wasn't planning on coming back tonight. Tomorrow night was really the night. We were working on that green screen. And we were posting, it's supposed to be unlisted. And I went live and I saw you guys pop in. And I said, man, let me just go on tonight. So here we go. Where am I at? Bond, every team I've picked in the playoffs have lost. I'm on the Panthers now. Oh, boy, the Panthers are getting destroyed in both games. But don't worry, the Panthers are good. They can come back. It still can be a series, but they have gotten completely rattled in these first 2 games. 7-2 last night. What a joke. That second period started, and Vegas just took off, man. They just skated circles around them. Crazy, man. I thought the Devils were going to go a little bit further. Carolina can't score goals. That's why the Panthers beat them. Carolina just cannot score goals. How they finish number 1 in the Metro all the time, I don't know. But they can't score goals. And that's always gets exposed in the playoffs. That's why I said if the Rangers had beaten the Devils, shoulda, coulda, woulda, I know it's all hindsight, 2020 hindsight in the playoffs. We own the Hurricanes. We would have beaten them. If you guys didn't see, Patrick Kane had hip surgeries out 4 to 6 months. He actually could come back to the Rangers, and that explains a lot why he didn't play so well in the playoffs, because he didn't look like Patrick Kane at all. Explains a lot. He had a hip injury. So maybe he can come back. We don't have the cap room to get him, but he may be able to restructure some stuff with that injury to come back. I wouldn't mind seeing him back in more of a source. We got a hit. IKF. Yes, and a run. Hit and a run. IKF broke up the no-hitter. Yes. 3-1 now. 3-1 Chicago. We have broken up the no-hitter and got a run in. That's what I'm talking about right there. Woo! Thank goodness, man. The outfielders out for Chicago got confused. They actually let the ball land in between them. What a way for a no-hitter to be given up. The outfielder's getting confused because one of those two guys should have caught it. Trevino gets a hit. IKF coming home. IKF is coming. No, he's not coming home. They held him up. This Hawthorne Hawks thing is bothering, man. I know I picked somebody that definitely should have beaten the Hawks. I'll look it up in a minute. I think it was in week 11 or, round 11. Where are we at? Mick. Bond, every team I've picked in the playoffs have lost. I just read that. Okay, Mick. Hey, Johnny, when was the last time the Yankees were shut out? Let me think on that. I think they were shut out by the Rays. Maybe in April. The Rays or the Twins, one of those two teams they got shut out by this season. The Rays or the Twins, one of those two shut them out. I think it was like 3-0 or 4-0. Mick, again, I think the Golden Knights traded LaFleur, changing their fortunes. And they got Jack Eichel, who I know Gunnar wants to see lose very badly when the Sabres, he begged off that Sabres team. He lands on the Knights, and now he's about to win a cup. He's 2 wins away from winning that cup. So, yeah, it did change their fortunes, man. It did. And getting a player like Jack Eichel, man, what a turnaround. First and third, 2 outs. Jake Bauers is up 1-1. Jake Bauers has actually been pretty good for the Yankees. Thank goodness they got rid of Aaron. Why they even brought him back this season to begin with. Waste of space, Aaron Hicks, man. What a waste of space. What a waste of space that guy was. Mr. Blum, if you haven't seen already, I think a lot of people would love your reaction to the potential goal of the year. A certain Brisbane player scored in round 7 against Fremantle. Oh, you're talking about Will Ashcroft's goal? Will Ashcroft's goal. That is the potential goal of the year. That's what you're talking about, Blum, right? Ashcroft's goal. That was an insane goal. Amen. I know the one you're talking about. That's a good idea. Let me write that down. Good one, Blum. I'll get on that one, man. That's a good one. All right, so the Yankees are out now, 3 outs. End of the 7th inning. The White Sox are up 3-1. The Yankees got 2 hits and a run that inning. Thank goodness. Now we're only 2 runs down. Very, very winnable game. Very winnable game. Going into the 8th inning right now. The White Sox are going to be coming up to bat. Bruin, of course, are getting no hit. Right, of course. Want to welcome back, Bruin. I'm watching the game and watching it. I'm like, hey, man, we're getting to the 5th and 6th inning now. And we don't have a hit. Like, that better not happen on my first day back. But of course it would, right? Because we're in the basement. Bagger, I've got to get back to work, man. So good to see you back. Thanks for dropping in, Bagger. I'll be back on tomorrow night, man. Thanks for dropping back in and seeing me, brother. I appreciate the support, man, as always. Robert Blair, welcome into the basement. Robert Blair, round 11. There it is. Hawks beat St. Kilda Saints. That's the one. That is the one. That's the, that was like, Robert, that was like when I looked at the tipping, that was like, who's playing the Hawks? St. Kilda, boom. Who's playing the Eagles? Those are the first two that I go for right away. Who's playing the Hawks? Who's playing the Eagles? I'm picking whoever's playing them. When the Hawks played the Eagles, I took the Hawks because that was like obvious. They were the better of the crap pile. The Hawks were the better of the crap pile than the Eagles are. So I took the Hawks there. St. Kilda, I don't think anybody took the Hawks over that. Maybe. What? How many people could have possibly taken the Hawks over that? If you did, you got lucky. Anybody that took the Hawks in that, Robert, was rolling the dice and guessing. There's no way anybody in their heart believed that they would win that game. Crazy. So thank you for that, Robert. I knew there was a team that killed me on that tipping round, and that was the one right there. Bond, Johnny Wayback, Mrs. Wayback, and Tony made a short get-well video at the Hawks game. It's in the Discord. Really? I will check that out. Oh, man, I will check that out. Thank you for bringing that up. Let me write that down to check that out. I'll be back in the Discord, too, this week, guys. Awesome, and I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. Bruin, you mean Fleury, Mick? Yeah, that's who he meant. He said LaFleur, but that's who he meant. That's who he meant. Marc-Andre Fleury. He's one of the greatest goalies of this era, man. Last goalie to be picked number 1 overall, Marc-Andre Fleury. I knew who he meant. But Peter DeBoer hated Fleury, and I don't know why. He hated him. He never started him, never played him. He's gotten older, though. I mean, he's, Marc-Andre Fleury, trust me, man. If he would accept the backup role, I would love him to be backing up Shesterkin. I would love him to be on the Rangers backing up Igor. I'd love it. If he would take a backup role, I would take Marc-Andre Fleury as a backup on my team immediately. Immediately. Halak did a good job. I mean, the Rangers can probably sign him. Again, hopefully they need a veteran backup. We don't have a lot of room. We need a coach. Again, I don't fully agree with them firing Gallant. Yeah, Robert, that round was full of upsets. That was like the biggest one. But, yeah, that whole round was full of upsets. Full of them. The Bulldogs lost. There was a lot of upsets in that round, man. Everybody in the tipping did horrible on that one. Horrible. But that happens in the NFL too, man. There'll be 1 week where it's like, whatever. Like the Texans will beat the Chiefs. Or actually, it did happen this past year. The Colts beat the Chiefs. The Colts are trash. Trash. And they beat the Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. Like, how did that happen? It happens. You never bet it, though. Like, you would never bet before the game that the Colts would beat the Chiefs. They did. Johnny, who's your dark horse for the Super Bowl? Mine is the Detroit Lions. Wow, good call. I guess I can't count the Jets as a dark horse at this time, right? Because they're, I think, one of the 6 favorite teams favored to go to the Super Bowl. So I was going to be cheesy and pick the Jets. How about You picked an NFC team. I'll pick an AFC team, Gunner. Whew! A dark horse from the AFC? That's tough. The Jaguars. The Jaguars. I'll go with the Jaguars as a dark horse in the AFC. Boy, oh boy, can you imagine that? I'll go with the Jaguars, Gunner. Put me down for my dark horse AFC team as the Jaguars. Wow. That would be – can you imagine if the Lions played the Jaguars after all this hype around other teams in the Super Bowl? Let's go. Yes, Bruin, let's go. Cordero or 2 outs, and he walks – no, we'll get out of this, man. We need to get our bats back up. We need to get the bats back up. We need to get Aaron Judge back. Nestor Cortez, by the way, went on the 15-day DL as well. I still call it the DL, the IL, the disabled list. That's how old school I am. I still call it the DL. Raleigh, dark horse Super Bowl team is the Jags. Hey, look at that. Me too. The Jaguars. I was going to say the Chargers, but the Chargers always blow it. They always blow it in the playoffs. Look at that comeback last year. Trevor Lawrence showed a lot in that playoff game. Didn't he have like 4 interceptions, if I remember correctly? 4 interceptions in that first half. And then you come back and throw 4 touchdown passes? Who does that? Not any Jets quarterback. I mean, who does that? They did that. Like, how do you blow? I thought only my team could blow games like that. 27-0 at half. And a dominant 27-0. And complete flip-flop of the teams in the second half. The Chargers came out and played like the Jaguars did in the first half. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Crazy. Bruin says, what's up, Raleigh? Gunner, I don't know why that's really a dark horse team. The Jaguars are really a dark horse team. I say I can't say the Jets anymore. I was going to say the Jets, but that's not a dark horse anymore. Bills, Jets, September 11th, Monday Night Football. What a way to open the season. And you know what, guys? No matter what, the greatest thing this season is the Patriots are going to own the AFC East basement. They can write what they want, say what they want. The Patriot fans can be delusional and believe in Bill Belichick, and they have every right to believe in Bill Belichick because they wouldn't even have been 8-9 last year without Belichick. They're going to be in last place. They know it. Their fans know it. They're going to be in last place, and that's going to be enjoyable. Enjoyable. Because you have the greatest coaches and everything else, man, but you don't have the team. They're always going to have a great defense. They're going to rely on their defense to keep them in games. And then the Patriot fans that say, oh, the Jets, they'll always finish in last. As dysfunctional as the Jets were at quarterback, all due respect to Mike White, who's a warrior. The Patriots only finished 1 game better than the Jets. All that dysfunction on the Jets at quarterback. Line was injured, and the Patriots still finished only 1 game better than the Jets. Now we have a quarterback. Now we have a team really put together well. Our offensive line still needs some work, but the Patriots and their fans really think they're going to finish ahead of the Jets again? No. And that 14-game winning streak they have against us, that's over too. And you guys know that's over. They know it's over. It's over. And Dolphin fans that make fun of my team, the Jets, for not being in the playoffs for the last 12 years, but now that the Kings made the NBA playoffs, we're the longest running sports team not to make the playoffs in the 4 major sports, right? For a Dolphin fan to talk smack to me about that, it's like, dude, when's the last time the Dolphins – I'll shoot a question out to you guys. When's the last time the Dolphins won a playoff game? Can you guys tell me? You guys know nobody Googles anything. Tell me, when's the last time the Dolphins won a playoff game? And who was the quarterback? Dolphin fans forget who it was. Gunner, I don't know. I just read that. Gunner, again, Jags should have no issue taking the AFC South. Right, no issue taking the – outside of injuries, they should have no issue taking that South. They should take that pretty easily. Raleigh, I think the Jags and Lions are both similar situations. Great young talent, awful history with winning. But I see your point, Gunner. Now, remember, the Lions, It's more embarrassing than the Jaguars. The Lions, since the Super Bowl era began, from Super Bowl I to now, they have one playoff win. One playoff win. And that was when Barry Sanders was on the team. One playoff win. That's worse than the Jets. It's worse than the Bills. It's worse than the Browns. I mean, all the teams that were horrendous for long stretches of time. And the Lions have one playoff win since the Super Bowl era began. That is pathetic of epic proportions, man. Pathetic. Pathetic. Woo! Raleigh, I think I just read that. Bond, Peter Wright will return for the Bombers this week after having shoulder surgery. Well, that should help them out a lot, right? Because your Bombers, man, what are they? Hold on, Gleyber Torres is up. We're down 3-1, bottom of the 8th inning. We got 6 outs to find a way to get 2 runs or more. Bond, Essendon, weren't they a candidate at least for the wooden spoon in the previews of the season? I think they were a candidate for the wooden spoon. I think they were. I think, what are they, 5th on the ladder? 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere around that. Bond. The Bombers have been doing it. I've been picking them more than not. So, so that should help you guys out a lot. I know you're in the middle of the pack. I know you're in the top 8. I think you're 5th or 6th last I checked. Gunner, boo, boo. I don't like Ike. I told you. I knew when I mentioned Jack Eichel's name, you would start flipping out. There it is. Gunner. Mick, here he goes again, writing suggestions. That's right. Hey, we're back on, man. We're back on. That's it. And we got good ones, too. Mick, how about AFL Unbreakable Records? There you go. Because I got some baseball ones that'll never be broken. That's a good one, Mick. I like that. I like that one, Mick. I'm going to look that one up, too. That's a good one. Like, I'll tell you what. You know whose record will never be broken? Ricky Henderson, the greatest leadoff hitter in baseball history. He has, give or take a couple, but he has, Torres struck out. Come on, Gleyber. 1,406 stolen bases in his career. And I believe the single season record is around 134 stolen bases in one season. Who's breaking that? He also has 81. This number is true. 81 leadoff home runs. Led off a game 81 times with a home run. Who's beating that? Who's beating that? 81 leadoff home runs. Ricky Henderson, and it's not even close. Come on, Stan, what are you swinging at? And it's not even close. Ricky Henderson is the greatest leadoff hitter the game has ever seen. That's not changing. He's the greatest base stealer the game's ever seen. That guy could take a single, turn it into a double and a triple, just like that. He'd steal those bases, no problem. That's one. Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak, that's a hard one to beat too, but I don't think it's harder than Ricky Henderson's records, man. That's tough. So, Mick, yeah, I like the AFL Unbreakable Record suggestion. That's a good one, man. I like that. Bond, there are 2 videos. You will see them. Way Back and Tony are going to be so happy when they see you on here. That's awesome, man. I'm happy to see all you guys too, man. I'm happy to see all you guys. Feels great to be back on here. Feels great to be talking to you guys again. Again, I should be on. We got family here. Should be on tomorrow night. Thursday, I will not be on. But we got we got the grandkids here for the summer. So I'll be on. I will be on often, but not as often as normal, but I'll still be on more often than I have been. So it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. A lot of fun. One second, guys. Stan is 2-2 on 2 balls, 2 strikes. Come on, man. What are you swinging at? Lucky you tipped that. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I have to do this. All right. Bond, the 2 videos, read that. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it, man. It's going to be great to be back on with everybody, man. I'll message way back now and let them know. Please do. Please do. We got, we're the bottom of the 8th inning right now, so I'll be on until the Yankees are done, which should be, unless we go to extra innings, which you never know. You never know. I'm Johnny Overtimes also. Basketball, hockey, how many overtime games? We weren't expecting to be overtime, went to overtime. And now this could be extra innings. You never know. We're only down by 2 runs. The Yankees can come back. Mick, I actually picked up a first game point spread a few weeks ago in the tipping comp. Port Adelaide by 4. Port Adelaide is another team I like picking. They're another team that I like picking. I like the power, man. They've actually won me more than lost. So they've been a good team of mine as well. Gunnar, I think Denver is going to go into the season way overhyped. People are already putting Sean Payton and Wilson, a top 10 duo. They haven't even played a snap together yet. They're giving more of the respect to Sean Payton and his ability to work with quarterbacks. I'm not surprised by it, but I agree with you, Gunnar. I think it's a little overhyped. On top of that, what is these comparisons like? Well, Aaron Rodgers, I mean, they expected Russell Wilson to do well last year, and Russell Wilson is not Aaron Rodgers. I don't know where people get that from or put him in the same category as Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying that just because I'm a Jet fan. I'm saying that in general. You want to put Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers or that kind of talk, fine. Tom Brady's above all of that, but Russell Wilson is not Aaron Rodgers. He's not a player like he is. Aaron Rodgers has carried his teams a lot of the way. Russell Wilson, they were the Legion of Boom. Aaron Rodgers never had a defense like the Seahawks had when Russell Wilson was there. Russell Wilson's a great quarterback, don't get me wrong, but he's not Aaron Rodgers, so I don't understand the comparisons there. How about Matt Stafford and the switching teams? We all know what Brady did. Now, it's funny, when you look at Tom Brady, if you look back to when Tom Brady first chose the Buccaneers to go to, the write-ups were the same. He's too old. The Patriots would never let him go if he had something left. He's not going to gel with the Buccaneers. Oh, COVID's come around. Now he can't practice with them. Now he can't go to OTAs. His first game, he has no preseason. They're never going to win with Brady. And he's added this new system. Boom, they won the Super Bowl. I love that Aaron Rodgers said the Jets' Super Bowl III trophy is looking lonely. He didn't come to the Jets to make the playoffs. He came here to win. And he knows the team has the potential of doing it, or he wouldn't waste his time. Russell Wilson doing what he did last year, that was surprising that they were that bad. But to say, well, Rodgers could be like Wilson, why? Why could he be like Wilson? He's way better quarterback than Russell Wilson. They're giving that hype, Gunner, because of Sean Payton and Russell Wilson developing with him, if that could happen. But probably more so next year than this year for top 10. But we'll see, because Denver has an incredible defense. Denver has a top 5 defense, or top 10 at least. They do, but when you're on the field the whole game, as we saw with the Jets, 7-4, they lost their last 6 games. Why? They're on the field too much. You can't keep being on the field, and then you get off the field, and you have to go right back on the field. I don't care what defense you are. You're going to start to bend after a while, especially when Zach Wilson's throwing interceptions on your side of the field. I mean, gosh, man, it's tough. Just messaged way back. Awesome. Johnny, you have made a community in Australia. Way back, Tony and Flex have been hanging out. That is awesome. Anthony Rizzo flew out. Yankees didn't get anybody on, didn't get any hits, and no runs. We're going to the 9th inning now. White Sox are coming up to bat. We got 3 outs, guys. We can't give up any more runs. We got 3 outs. 3 outs to score 2 runs. Got to do something here. That's awesome, Bon, and that's cool because everybody should hook up. It's like in Buffalo. You had Gunner, Lockport, right? Thunder Dan. Everybody hooks up around, man. I'm glad all these communities come together. It was great meeting them, and I can't wait. Rock and I can't wait to come to Australia. We're hoping to do that next year. It's not going to happen this year. We were hoping it would, but it's just not. It's not around the corner, guys. So we're going to look at next year for that. But I'm glad that these communities have come together, man. I'm back now. I'm back. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Gunner, the only chance of making the Super Bowl without an offense is having a generational defense. 2015 Broncos, 2000 Ravens, 1985 Bears. I'll throw that one in there too. Yes, generational defenses. Peyton Manning's second Super Bowl win with the 2015 Broncos had nothing to do with Manning. It had everything to do with their defense. The Jets have a generational defense. They do. They have a generational defense. You guys know it's true. The Jets were not blown out in any game last year. They were not blown out in one game. How many times could I say that in my lifetime as a Jet fan? Maybe in 1998, 09, 10, those AFC Championship, even though they lost, the Rex Ryan years, we didn't get blown out in any. I'll take that back. The Patriots blew us out on one Monday Night Football game. It was like 49-3 embarrassment. We paid them back later on that year. But did not get blown out at all. This has been a long time. And I think 1998, the Jets didn't get blown out in any games there. Maybe 1982, the sack exchange era. So it's not that often. But the Jets right now have a generational defense. Like I said, Aaron Rodgers isn't coming. He doesn't have to be Superman. Doesn't have to carry the team on his back. Garrett Wilson, the offensive rookie of the year, got 1,100 yards receiving with Zach, Mike White, Flacco, and even Chris Streveler played a game, our practice squad quarterback. What's Rodgers going to do with a guy like that? And you're getting Breece Hall back, which is huge. Getting Breece Hall back is huge. 5.8 yards per carry average through 7 weeks. Watch out. But like I said, guys, do I think they're going to win the whole thing this year? I hope they do. I'm excited. I think they have a hell of a chance of doing it. I also think it's a tall order to expect that. The AFC has a ton of teams. The Buffalo Bills, I still think, can win the AFC East. I think it's going to be the Bills, the Jets, because I think in the beginning the Jets have a rough first 4 games, and they're probably going to have a minute to gel. Brady and the Buccaneers got lost to the Saints and the Bears in their first 5 weeks of that season. The Saints and the Bears, first 5 weeks of that season, they didn't look too good. I'm not comparing Rodgers to Brady. Brady's a far better quarterback than Rodgers, far better resume. I'm just talking about switching teams to a team that an older quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback, knows if I'm going to stick around, I got to pick a team I know I can win with. And that's why he's coming here. So good point there. Generational defenses. 2015 Broncos, 2000 Ravens. I'm going to say throw in the 85 Bears. Jim McMahon was an average quarterback at best. Willie Gault, decent wide receiver. Walter Payton, it was later in his career. Walter Payton's the greatest running back of all time to me. And I don't think you can argue too many people against it. But 85, he was getting closer to the end of his career. So they didn't have the greatest offense, but their defense in that playoffs, they shut out the New York Giants, who had Phil Simms, Lawrence Taylor on that team. They shut out the Rams, who had Eric Dickerson in the NFC Championship game. And then the only time they gave up a touchdown after they destroyed the Patriots, I think it was 46-10. The Patriots threw a touchdown in garbage time. I think that's the only time. That is the only time that the Bears even gave up any touchdowns in that entire playoffs. Back-to-back shutouts against legendary teams with legendary players. Dickerson, Lawrence Taylor, Harry Carson, Gary Reasons, Carl Banks. Monsters on defense for the Giants. George Martin on defensive end. Monster defense. They shut them out, the Bears. Shut them out. I think it was 21-0. That's a famous game where Sean Landeta, the punter of the Giants. Great play by Donaldson. Great play. Sean, it was so windy at Soldier Field, he actually went to punt the ball out of his own end zone, and he missed the ball. Completely missed the ball. The wind blew it away. So it was garbage time in the Super Bowl. And they had Tony Eason at quarterback. Steve Grogan, old man Steve Grogan came in. I think he's the one that threw the touchdown pass for the Patriots. And Craig James at running back, Tony Collins. I mean, they got killed by that Bears team. But that Bears defense was so dominant. I don't know of any team that dominated like that in the playoffs. Anyway, that was a good point. Bruin during the Marino era, right? Yeah, Marino. That 85 Bears team, by the way, lost to who? Dan Marino and the Dolphins on a Monday Night Football game. They lost to them. That's their only loss of that whole year, Bruin. And you know the Miami Dolphins celebrate their undefeated season every time the last undefeated team in the NFL loses. And it doesn't matter if that team is 4-0, 3-0. The last undefeated team, that Dolphins team celebrates that they're the only undefeated team. From week 1 through the Super Bowl, no one's ever done it. No one's ever done it except them. Mick, hey, Johnny, I think the Lions and Brisbane Bears merged in the mid-'80s. I'm thinking 90s, Mick. I'm thinking 90s. We are trying to work out a game so we can all catch up on. That is awesome, man. You guys got to send a video of that when you do. Mick, the 23-24 Raiders. Yeah, they're in that defense, sure. I'm going to check that right now, Mick. I think I got something here. All right, 2 outs, top of the 9th. White Sox. They didn't get any hits. They didn't get any runs. The Yankees are coming up. Bottom of the 9th inning. We're down by 2 outs. Excuse me. We're down by 2 runs. We got 3 outs to go. We got Donaldson, Volpe, and Calhoun coming up. And there you go, Mick. Brisbane Lions. Established 1996. There it is, right there. On the Brisbane Lions. 96. Guys, I do my research, man. I don't remember everything, but I am in the middle of reading this book still. I read it, take notes. When I get into a sport, I go all in. I love sports. I'm a sports fanatic. So when I go in with the team, I got to know everything. It's my first season. I'm not going to remember everything, but I try to go in all in. Anyway. So, yes, Mick, by the way, that was during the Marino era. Very good. The last time the Dolphins won a playoff game. Yes, now I remember why you brought that up. The last one I can think of was Marino's last season, but felt like I remember them beating Pittsburgh at one point since then. Nope, you're right, Gunnar. And Mick was right, too. I forgot to even ask that question. Dan Marino was the quarterback. Their last playoff win was in 1999. The next week, they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars 62-7 in a playoff game, and that was Dan Marino's last game playing as a quarterback, and that was Jimmy Johnson's last year coaching. What a way to go out for 2 legends, Jimmy Johnson and Dan Marino. Last game of their careers, 62-7 loss to Mark Brunell and the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's the last time the Miami Dolphins won a playoff game, 1999. What's worse, not making the playoffs in the last 12 years, the Jets' current streak, or not winning a playoff game since 99? You tell me. I'm going to tell you, not winning a playoff game since 99 is worse than the Jets not being in the playoffs currently for 12 straight years. That is worse, man. That's worse because the Dolphins have been in the playoffs since 99 plenty of times, and they have not won one. The Jets at least made 2 championship games in 09 and 10. I mean, not like I have a whole lot to talk about with the Jets, but, man, I think that's worse. Going to the last one I can think of. There you go. Flex, I'm out. Too much pain to sit at PC any longer. What's going on with your leg, Flex? I got to catch up with you on that, man. Bond, 6th. You're 6th. I knew you were in the top 8 somewhere. I thought you were around 5, so I wasn't too far off. Bombers, man, they were a wooden spoon candidate in the season previews, and look at them, man. They're doing it. All right, Flex, I hope you feel better, brother. Fill me in a little bit more. What's going on with you? Brad, another cellar dweller, another Ozzy accounted for. Brad's in the basement. Johnny the King has returned. Glad to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Thanks for the title, but Brad, man, thanks. I appreciate it, brother. I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Donaldson just hit a home run. Yes. Boom, 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 boom. 3-2. 3-2, and nobody's out. They just brought in their closer, Liam Hendricks, who forget about baseball. The guy just survived cancer, man. So big shout out to Liam Hendricks for surviving cancer and being able to come back to baseball, which he just came back last week. He just gave up a leadoff home run to Josh Donaldson. We are down 3-2, bottom of the 9th inning. Nobody out. We need one more run to tie this game. One more run to tie this game. Volpe's coming up. Google, what is going on, Google? Another cellar dweller accounted for. Google's in the basement. My lovely people just waiting for the Jets to start this season. And what's up with the Yankees? Amen. Google, we're coming back right now with them. Can't wait for the Jets either. Jets, Bills, 9/11, Monday Night Football in New York, man. This is going to at the Met. Yes, in New Jersey, for all that's going to say that, but you guys know what I mean. What a way to open up the season. I'm looking forward to it too, Google, and good seeing your name in here, man. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Hit that like button. Keep this basement rolling. Keep it rolling, man. We're still aiming for 5,000 subs. I think we're at 2,200 right now. Mick, but also look at how Brett Favre did when he left the Packers. Came to the Jets, which he didn't. See, that's the thing when people say, oh, Rodgers is following what Brett Favre did. No, Brett Favre didn't come on the Jets till the preseason, till August, and he didn't want to be here. Brett Favre never wanted to play for the Jets. It was a stopping point to get back over to the NFC where he wanted to be. He never wanted to play for the Jets. That being said, he had the Jets at 8-3 before he tore his bicep. And the Jets had him play in that whole mess there, and they ended up finishing 9-7 on the season. So they went from 8-3. They finished 9-7 and missed the playoffs. Brett Favre actually didn't play that badly for the Jets. On the Vikings, he never got it really going with them. So good point on that, Mick. Bond, Johnny, here's an AFL stat for you. Jim Stins holds the record for the most conservative games, 244, without missing a single game. Wow. Wow. So he's like the Cal Ripken sort of, the Iron Man. Wow. Jim Stins. I'm gonna look that up for the records too. Jim Stins, 244 straight. Yep, I'm adding that in. And here's me in the Midwest. There you go, Mick. Right. Nico, what is going on, Nico? Welcome into the basement. AFL and rugby for days, mate. Yes, I'm going to start getting into the rugby also. I'm going to start getting into the rugby, man. AFL and the rugby for sure. That's going to be my next project, getting into the rugby. Valix, another cellar dweller accounted for. Valix is in the basement. 2-1 right now. 2 balls, 1 strike on Calhoun. Bottom 9th inning, 1 out. Yankees needing one more run. One more run. Hendricks to Calhoun. He got out. All right, we're down to our final out. We're down to our final out. We're down by 1 run. We are down to our final out, guys. Thunder Dan, another cellar dweller, OG dweller in the basement. Thunder Dan, what's going on, brother? Good to see you in here, man. What's up, Johnny? Glad to see you back. Same here, Dan. Glad to see your name in here, brother. Hope you've been well, man. Hope you've been well. Thunder Dan back in. For all the guys you should know him by now, but Thunder Dan used to be Bills King Mafia. He's an OG dweller, been around a long time. What is going on, Dan? Great to see you in here, brother. Hope everything's been well with you too, man. Mick, gone are the days of severe weather Super Bowls. You corrected me. The severe weather Super Bowls, man. That's why when they did have it at MetLife Stadium, I was hoping that it would be a snowstorm. I would love to see, would they ever be daring enough to have a Super Bowl in Buffalo? Oh, my gosh, that would be amazing. I would love it, man, just to see everybody getting all annoyed that it's snowing and the media, and it's not, it's not the big show that it always is. I always care about the game. When I was growing up, now I sound like an old-time grump. But the halftime and the commercials, none of this was a big deal. None of it was a big deal. Now it's like a whole spectacle. The Super Bowl itself is like, the game is like an afterthought. The whole spectacle for 2 weeks. Crazy. Yankees lose. IKF grounded out. At least we didn't get no hit. We tried to make the comeback. We lost 3-2. We were no hit for 6 straight innings in here, guys. Gunner, you didn't just ask a question with the game over. Let me look at it. You corrected me. Bond, my son's local footy team won by 28 goals last week. Whoa! His brother-in-law is full forward and has 52 goals from 9 games. Wow. Wow. That's insane, Bond. That's a lot. Holy crap, man. That's a superstar right there. Bruin not winning a playoff game since 99 is definitely worse. I agree, and I'm not being biased. Because they've been in the playoffs. They couldn't win any. Gunner, here's a stat that really surprised me. We all Favre threw the most pick sixes in his career, but guess who's tied for second? It really surprised me. For the most pick sixes? I would love to say Mark Sanchez, but that's probably not it. If it really surprised you, Bruin Fitzpatrick. Wow, that's a decent answer. Bond, an ad just popped up. An ad on here just popped up. Good, getting paid. Not McCown. No, if it surprised him, it has to be somebody big. That's a good question, man. The second most pick sixes. Jim Kelly? If it surprised you, I'm trying to think along your lines. Was it Jim Kelly? I'm not staying on much longer, Gunner. You may have to tell us, but I'm going to go Jim Kelly. It's got to be a famous quarterback. John Elway. How about John Elway? I'm going to really start throwing names out now. Brad, Bond, 52 goals in 9 games, and other teams must be hopeless. You know what? Bond, you could probably put him on the West Coast Eagles right now. They'd probably take him right now. They need him. Let's go Yankees. Yes, Valix, we lost, but yes, they did not get no hits, so we got something to celebrate. It's a Hall of Famer. Okay, Jim Kelly, John Elway, Warren Moon. Was it Warren Moon? I'm trying to think of great quarterbacks. Manab, my trip was great. Awesome, brother. Good to hear you, man. Bruin Peyton Manning? Well, that's a good guess. Good night, Johnny and Rock. I will tell her you said good night, Manab. Great seeing you back in here, Manab. I'll see you tomorrow night. Braden, hope everything's going well, Johnny. Thank you, and welcome back into the basement, Braden. Thanks for the support. Don't forget the hit the like button. Far off with those picks. Okay. You're not far off. Okay. Kelly Marino? Not Marino. Jim Kelly, John Elway. If I'm not far off, then I'm in the wheelhouse. Dan Marino? I would never even think it's Dan Marino. It can't be Dan Marino. Jim Plunkett. There you go. That's a good guess. Jim Plunkett, 2-time Super Bowl winner that's never been in the Hall of Fame. That's a trivia question right there. Hall of Fame, that 2-time Super Bowl winner that's not in the Hall of Fame. Jim Plunkett. It's not Eli Manning yet because he's not eligible yet. So right now, Jim Plunkett's the only 2-time Super Bowl winner that has not made the Hall of Fame. It is Marino. Oh, my gosh. I was going down that whole draft class. Elway, Kelly, Marino. I would have never guessed Marino. Wow. Wow, Gunner. I got questions tomorrow night. We'll bring questions. I got them for you guys. We got questions for you guys tomorrow night. Got good ones, too. Guys, I will see you tomorrow night for another Yankee game. I won't be on Thursday night, but I'll see you guys tomorrow night for the Yankees. Thank you so much for guys showing up tonight. Felt great to be back. Felt great to seeing you guys back in here as well, guys. Bond, some of the teams are crap. My son's team is 2 games clear on top of the ladder. Sign him up for West Coast, man. They'll take him right now. He threw 29 pick sixes, Dan Marino? Wow. I would have never guessed that in a million years. But when you asked it, I'm figuring you're a Buffalo Bills fan. I'm like, all right, well, why not Jim Kelly? If you say you're surprised, then it had to have been big time. I was going to say Marino. I would have never guessed Marino. Cullen, I was somewhat distracted. Just in time to say goodbye. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night for sure. and I'll always keep you updated on what's going on with me. I appreciate all you guys. So good to have you back, King John. That's funny. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. So great to have you guys back. You guys are the real kings. You guys are the ones that supported me. You guys are the ones that are still around, even after I took weeks to let you guys know when I'm coming back. And that was bad on my part, not on purpose. I just really didn't, like I said, I'm not used to having a platform, so I really didn't think about it that in depth. Guys, thank you so much for the support tonight. Great being back on. Even though the Yankees lost, at least I didn't get no hit. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I'm Johnny Basement, and I am out. Thank you so much, guys. It's so enjoyable, man. See you guys tomorrow night.